Hey,
I thought we were starting an hour ago.
well, I just thought that maybe since we were doing late tricks today, that it would be kind of funny if I didn't show up exactly on time.
Well, I had plans for today.
Well, should we start?
Welcome back to Unicycle School, new and improved, now with little animated skits at the beginning. Today we're jumping up into the next branch of the skill tree to talk about late tricks. So, let's go.
Okay, so when you do a trick late, what that means is that you're going to do the trick after you've left the ground. So you can't really use the friction between the wheel and the earth to generate any sort of pop. It adds kind of a unique challenge and a different look to a trick that you might already have dialed.
Perfect.
Alright, so to get started, what I want to explain to you is, it's a rule I've come up with. I'm going to call it Eli's Law of Lateness. And I get to name it after myself because I was the first person to ever have the idea of taking another person's idea and put it in one video. So, yeah. For the record, I actually learned this from Dan Colvin, Elias Puham, and Will Riley. It's not mine. Anyway, the idea is pretty simple. Basically, to make any trick late, what you're going to do is start by moving the unicycle in the exact opposite direction for just a few degrees before you start the actual trick. So I think the easiest way to demonstrate this concept is to use the late unispin, or just a late spin. So the way this works is if I normally do my unispins like this, counterclockwise, which I do, if I want to do a late 180 unispin like that, what I'm going to do first is jump as high as I can, take my feet off the pedals, and rotate just a couple degrees clockwise. Then when I hit the peak of my jump, I'm going to rip that thing back to the original spinning direction, and I'm going to show you the fattest, latest unispin you've ever seen. I ripped my pants! When you start by rotating a few degrees in the other direction, that helps you make the spin look crispy, crunchy, yummy, delicious, and nutritious, instead of what I think is probably the most common mistake. It helps defeat what I think is probably the most common error with late tricks, which is instead of doing them late, a lot of beginner riders will just do them slowly, or slowly at first, but then like real fast at the end. So that might look like this. Like that. I mean, it isn't late. It's not crispy. You want it crispy. Spin the other way first, like this. Oh! So late I missed my whole appointment. So this same concept, you can apply it very easily to twists, which is a full body rotation. I normally twist clockwise. Do you think that's picking up on her barking? So to start a late twist, what I'll do normally is twist just like 20 degrees counterclockwise, turn my head and shoulders over, and then you can whip it around when you hit the peak of your jump to make it look super late, super crispy, super crunchy, yummy, delicious, nutritious. Eating it up all day, every meal. 6 meals a day, you're on a bulk, 600 pounds. Bulk too much, time to cut. The floor's weird in here. So finally, this is another really good way to make your backflips or your back crank flips late backflips. What you need to do is when you jump, you're going to rock the wheel forward a tiny bit, just a couple degrees, so your pedals are like past horizontal. So in the air it'll look like this, and then you can snap the backflip by kicking down and away. So when you jump, your front foot pushes down, you pull up super hard, and then you kick back, down, and away. And it looks like this. So if you've been paying attention, you've probably noticed by this point that we have yet to talk about the standard late crank flip or late flip. And that's because, as with any good rule, there's always bound to be an exception. So let's talk about what makes late flips different than all the other late tricks. So I don't think that doing the slight opposite motion until you hit the peak of your jump and then doing the trick is the most effective or the easiest way to learn how to do late flips. There's another technique that was taught to me by the one and only Mars Landerson. I mean, I'm talking about Lars Anderson, of course, and not the one who does archery, and not the Muni guy, the one that has actual jackhammers where his arms used to be. Lars Anderson taught me how to do late flips a couple years ago, and I'm about to give you his technique free of charge, unless you want to donate a bunch of money to me. The concept is pretty simple here. For late flips, you need to get used to pulling up on the seat really hard to pull the pedals up into the bottoms of your feet. Okay, and then just like with a normal crank flip, you're gonna start with your toes on the pedals. Check this out, I'm gonna close up of this. Still stand action. You're so far away, get a close up. Like, toes on the pedals, right? Put them way out there. This is how we do flip tricks, toes on pedals. And then you need to ride pretty fast and jump pretty high, but instead of generating snap by popping down against the surface of Mother Earth, what you're going to do is pull up and generate snap by releasing your back foot down and away just a fraction of a second before you pull your front foot off. If you leave your front foot on, it should make the wheel spin or flip. It's a flip, a crank flip. So let me show you what that looks like. Okay, if at any point during this process you find yourself struggling, what I need you to do is take a tennis ball. Standard tennis ball will work, color coordination helps. You are going to pop it into your spokes and push it down in there until it makes contact with your hub. And once you do that, you'll be able to land every single trick every try, day, night, rain, snow, sleet, hail. Woke up late, woke up on the wrong side of the bed, had a stressful week of work, forgot to do your homework. Yep, tennis ball. Ripped your pants, whatever.
For today's homework, what I want you to do is go check out skirt.io. This is a website that just recently dropped. It's by my good friend Colby Thomas, one of the greatest street rats to ever grace us with his brilliant clips. He made a website that is, it's amazing. It's great for unicyclists. If you're a new unicyclist, there's something for you. If you're a unicyclist who's been around the block a few times, there's even more for you. My favorite feature of the website is the weekly game of Skirt. I've been super into this since week one. We're in the third game, just started today. Every Sunday, the tricks drop, and you have a week to do as many of them as you can. Whoever does the most, or whoever does the fastest, is the winner, and the game resets every single week. It is amazing. I'm having such a good time. This is the most into unicycling I've been since the start of the lockdown. If you're a beginner rider, there's a game there for you. It's divided into ability levels, so you can come and check it out and play. It will be a great way to progress, good way to meet new riders. And yeah, I hope to see you on there. Check out Skirt.